What is up, YouTube? Lady Spindrift here, and queer. Come to this moment, I haven't really had a chance to do just a regular vlog. In spite of recent events that have been happening through the past weekend, it's just something I have been contemplating for quite a while. Whether should I just lash out, rant and rave, vent out some of my frustrations and all that other shit, or just kind of be civilized and just kind of put in my 2 cents. It's been running around in my mind for so many days. Hope you guys can understand my take on things. I'm sure there's so many other vloggers and so many other people out there who can relate to it each and every step of the way. But I think it's just definitely something that I want to get out of my chest.
This is Lady Spindrift.
2 weeks ago was Boston Pride Week. So, celebration of all the lesbians, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer folks. And of course, I've said this many times, hence my little intro spiel here in queer. Yes, I am queer. Yes, I am part of the LGBTQ culture. Celebrating Pride the past couple of weekends ago, the second Saturday of the month, we have heard the shocking breaking news, the Orlando, Florida shooting, the Orlando, Florida massacre that happened at Pulse nightclub, which is an LGBTQ associated nightclub. So many mixed emotions, not only sad, not only angry. It was just kind of a mix of both, just going back and forth like a seesaw. I didn't want to really just solely base this on just LGBTQ people like myself and many others, but just hatred of so many different demographics. There's hatred everywhere, here in this country, here all over the world. You've seen it in the news. Yes, LGBTQ people are going through the struggles, the hate from others because we don't conform to society and shit. And of course, there are some demographics that don't conform to the quote-unquote norms of society and all that other bullshit. People are lulled into saying like they should be killed to fulfill gloriousness. And that really bothered me. It brought a lot of fear to others, but to me, it definitely brought a lot of anger. I remembered about the cutscene in Metal Gear Solid where Vulcan Raven and Solid Snake face each other mano a mano, and Vulcan Raven was saying, "Rejoice, Snake, for ours be a glorious battle." And then Solid Snake's quote really hit me. This isn't glorious. This is just plain killing. Violence isn't a sport. And where I'm coming at is that there are people out there that want to kill non-conforming demographics as their way of building their own sense of gloriousness, quote unquote. And you have like some of these religious extremists who really take their word of saying these non-conforming people, they must be killed, that our order remains glorious. And that's where like Solid Snake's response of it's not glorious, it's just plain killing, just comes to faction. I've posted something on my personal social media accounts about a status saying there is nothing glorious about taking another person's life, even if they don't conform to your values. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You brand them as monsters because they don't conform to your values. You want to take their life away because they're non-conforming. Well, I'll tell you what. You're the monster. You are the monster. Period. And we hear this so much with society. People are hated because they're ugly. People are hated because they're queer. People are hated because of the color of their skin. People are hated because of their disabilities, and vice versa. The list goes on. It's 2016 and we've been fighting for progression and shit, but unfortunately we're at the helm of history repeating itself. Even in the motorcycle community, it's become quite a problem too. There's always like this certain standard of a true male rider or a true female rider and stuff, and if you don't meet those standards, then you're just hated upon. The motorcycle community is close-knit. The motorcycle community is supposed to be a family. We're supposed to be looking out for each other. Here is the question for some of you people out there who encounter another rider in the street, you're riding, and this other person's riding, and they don't conform to some of your values because they're queer, or they're ugly, or some of this other shit. So they crash right in front of before your eyes. The question is, what are you gonna do? What are you going to do? Are you just going to idle pass by and just let them die and suffer? Or are you just gonna stop and help a fellow rider in need? And also, it can apply to the tables being turned around. Let's say if you do get a fucked up day and you have a fellow rider who does not conform to your values of life and they're helping you, are you gonna accept help from them? Or are you just gonna say, fuck you, I don't need any help from this queer or this other person and shit? It's so frustrating because this is nothing new. It's been happening day in, day out. I've been getting a lot of hate because I'm queer, because I don't fit the standards of like what a true female rider is, really. And of course, like I've known fellow female riders through social media accounts who've worked their way up to the top, but still receive criticism saying like, oh, she's ugly, or receive some of these comments were saying like, I would like to know which girl is fuckable. Like, I think you're definitely fuckable. And it's the sad, cold hard reality of it, man. We need to learn to appreciate, not hate. Hell, there's also hate for the bike that you ride, you know? I get hated for riding a Gixxer, and they'll say like, where could you get an R6? You know what I mean? Or like R6 riders get hated because they want to be like this next big name motovlogger or something like that. They're a carbon copy of a big name motovlogger. And also Harley riders hate sport bike riders hate Harley riders, even like touring guys and girls getting some of the hate as well. In the world of motorcycling, like, we share the same risks. We're out here out in the open dealing with idiot drivers, some idiot riders, and even road hazards along the way. We're out here in the open, you know, we enjoy the love of riding out on the road on our two-wheeled machines. We as a motorcycle family, we need to be looking out for each other at times, especially when in need. That's my take on it. I wanted to give a shout out to Flashwing, who actually did a quick little vlog about following the events of what happened a couple of weekends ago. The issues that we're having, it's still problematic, you know, like, we're not free. The hate is still around, and it still keeps going, unfortunately, you know what I mean? There's so many haters. Why let the haters drive you down, man? You know what I mean? I've got my share of haters. I'm sure like many other people have their share of haters. One of the things I like to do is just use it as energy for me to kind of become better, stronger, and hopefully I make my haters eat their words. I try to appreciate a lot of good riders, a lot of good role models here, and try not to hate, you know what I mean? If people can't reciprocate your respect for them, then just don't waste your time, man. Just do you. Sometimes you just gotta say, fuck everybody else, I'm doing me. I always have a lot of haters, I always have a lot of enemies, because I just don't conform to society as a quote-unquote ordinary person. I'm not an ordinary person, and nor do I ever plan to be. I am who I am, I'm a product of my environment, and the haters can definitely go fuck themselves. Point blank. You know, for all the people who doubt me or doubt any other people who don't conform to your values, let me tell you this. Why don't you go and step into their shoes and get an idea like what they've been facing day in, day out. And I'm sure that maybe your perception will change, and I hope it does. We're so notorious to quickly judge a book by their cover without actually digging deep into the pages in the first place. And that's always a problem. You know, step into their shoes and see if you can actually live at least a day in them. So please definitely hit up that link to Flashwing's video about the hatred in today's current events. in the link in the description below. I also have links to my social media pages like Facebook page, Instagram, vice versa. And I just want to kind of just close this quick little vlog, this little rant and rave. And thank you guys so much for watching. And of course, I'm sure all the supporters will definitely subscribe and like my channel and video, and we'll stay tuned for more videos to come. And of course, to all the haters, you can just leave and scurry away and go down to your merry way. And in the meantime, ride safe, ride smart, and most of all, ride sexy. I'll see you guys in the next video. Mwah.